Put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. My I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. My I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. Money, money, money. Money, not being wealthy. Like Kanye West said, having money is not everything. Not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money that's called. You don't like money so much, why you get up and go to work? Yeah, trying to do your all other things that you think about. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. Not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. Now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Mr. H Cortez.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working class men and women all over this great nation of ours. It is truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to come to you guys each and every morning. I see some of the same beautiful faces every morning. That just makes my day that you guys are tuning in regularly. So I really, really love to share with you just what I know and what I'm learning, because I tell you all the time that I subscribe to a methodology called learn, do, teach. So as I'm learning from my mentors and implementing that stuff in my life, I teach it at the same time, which helps it embedded in me even faster and even more solidly so that I can do it even better. So I love to learn something, come to you guys as I'm implementing it and teaching it to you guys as well. You know, I also believe that each one teach one. If we were living by that code, instead of sometimes each one learn something and say, oh, I know something that's going to put me ahead in the game, so I'm going to keep that close to the vest. That's not me. I just want to share and help everybody win. Today we're talking about people say the craziest things, man. You'd be amazed what we're going with the show. But do me a huge favor. If you're checking us out on YouTube, then grab the link, share it on your favorite social media outlet, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you like to share links, share it there. If you have not already hit the subscribe button on YouTube, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well, so that you get notifications anytime I go live, anytime I upload a video, that sort of thing. On Facebook, do me the same favor, guys. Two things. Share this on your wall. Share it on your timeline. If you know people who need to start their day with something that's going to uplift, motivate, encourage, educate, edutain, right? Edutrain is another phrase that I like to use. I'm just trying to help our community get their minds in the right place so that we can start building. So share the stream. You can also invite people specifically. And then also, if I say anything that starts making sense to you, then the likes and the little hearts and those things that you guys do, that helps the stream go viral. So you understand why fight videos and stuff go viral? Because they get a lot of engagement, a lot of interaction, and that's how Facebook judges whether or not something is valuable as content. So if you guys start liking the stream and sharing it and commenting and doing the little heart taps or whatever, that helps this positive energy go viral. So in case you stumbled upon this show on accident, let me tell you exactly who this show is for. This show is for risers and grinders only. If you're not ready to get up, get out, and get something, this show ain't for you, man. This show is for those people who are serious about building an empire, building a legacy for their families. This show is for you. If you are one who, like me, went to bed last night saying, what am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do the next day, the day after that, the day after that, to make sure that my great grandchildren are going to be proud to bear my name, this show is for you. If you aspire to have your picture over the mantle of your descendants and they be able to look to that and say, hey, I am where I am today because that guy, that gal made some major sacrifices in order to set us up financially and All we've been able to do since then is follow our passions because we never had to go to a job and chase a dollar. If that's you, this is your show. If you're the type of person who's got the desire to build wealth, you got the discipline to build wealth, maybe you have really that burning desire inside, but you lack a game plan. Maybe you need a coach. Maybe you need a mentor. Maybe you need some strategies in your life that will help you take yourself to another level. Then this is your show, because that's what we bring each and every show. Not just me, but the countless number of people that network within the chat, where you can really get some tips, strategies, and a game plan to build wealth for you and your family. This is your show, my friend. Now, on the other hand, who is the show not for? This show is not for the pessimists, right? If you are the type of person who can only find the evil in everything, this show is not for you. If you're the type of person sitting back saying, hey, I'm glad Donald Trump is president because he's a businessman, America's a business, he can fix the economy, instead of focusing on your economy, this ain't your show, man. This ain't your show. If you are the type of person who got that weird relationship with money, in fact, you can't stand the fact that I just said the word money 12 times in the last 10 seconds, this ain't your show. If you think money is evil, capitalism is a dirty word, you think wealthy people are jerks, this ain't your show. Because what happens when you have that kind of relationship with money, you will always repel money away from you. And if that's your aim, you definitely don't want to listen to this show, because the people who listen to this show are attracting money, prosperity, success, power, wealth. They're attracting all of that into their lives. And if you don't want any of that, this ain't your show, man. You can tune out, exit stage left, and we won't miss you. Also, let me be clear about this. I do not have a problem with you not wanting to be wealthy. That is your prerogative, man. So maybe you are already wealthy. Maybe you have already hit the heights that you want to hit financially and career with your success. Maybe you're cool and content with where you are. I'm not. So what I can't understand for the life of me is why my aspirations to do something greater bothers you so doggone much, right? So if that's you, this is not your show. You can tune out. But like I tell you each and every morning, if you've never seen a billionaire before, I want you to take a screenshot, because you're looking at one, and then I want you to hold me to it and watch me work, right? And what I would recommend, though, is not that you sit outside and cheer for me or cheer against me, because that don't make me know, never mind. I would advise you to get in the game with me, because there's not a single billionaire on this planet who's ever gotten there without helping countless others become billionaires, mega millionaires, decamillionaires, six-figure households, and the like. So that could be you if you get in the game with me. Just think about how many billionaires Zuckerberg has created. Think about how many billionaires your president-elect has created. Think about how many billionaires Bill Gates has created. Think about what Oprah did for Dr. Phil, Iyanla Vanzant, and Robert Kiyosaki. You guys know that Rich Dad, Poor Dad may not be the book that it is if he hadn't got on the Oprah show, right? Think about, so we talked about Microsoft. So as I'm ascending, if you get in the game with me, chances are maybe you don't want to be a billionaire, but maybe you can land on 100 million. Maybe you can land on 50 million. Maybe 2 or 3 million is just your thing. Maybe you just want a strong 6 figures, right? Get in the game with me, man, and let's make this thing happen. Let me mute this out, guys, because I don't know if I did. I want to make sure, because I don't want the chimes to interrupt us. Good deal. Today's show is brought to you by Best Services Unlimited LLC. Best Services Unlimited LLC. My girl Yvette, I just love her to death, man. She is serious when it comes to helping you maximize your tax return. And just to give you some ideas of who she is and what her company is all about, Best Services Unlimited is the only income tax preparation company in Fairfield, Georgia, accredited and A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau of Metro Atlanta. The firm specializes in corporate and personal tax returns, as well as new business formation and consultation. And guess what? If you go to let Miss Yvette do your taxes and get you squared away, and you tell her you heard it on a Financial Health Mentor Talking Money in the Morning live show, you may qualify to get a free 2-day cruise to the Bahamas. Yep, I said it. Go let Best Services Unlimited LLC get you squared away this tax season. Tell her you heard it on Talking Money in the Morning live and that I sent you, and ask her about the free 2-day cruise to the Bahamas. You can catch up with them at bsullc.us. Phone number over there is 829-0082. Again, that's bsullc.us. Phone number 770-829-0082. If you're a new customer, tell her you heard about it on Talking Money in the Morning Live and ask her, do you qualify for the free 2-day cruise to the Bahamas? A+ rated, Better Business Bureau. I mean, just really, they just do their thing. And then also, if you don't want to have her do your taxes, and maybe you have someone solid that does yours, but you want to learn the game, check out her book, Maximizing Your Tax Refund, 35 Surefire Ways to Get More from Your Return. That's on Amazon.com at $8.99. Downloadable straight to your Kindle. So check that out, man. Super excited to partner with Yvette because I love what she's doing in the community. It's not just about doing your taxes, but when those folks come through there and get those tax returns and they got 4 or 5 kids and they're getting $10,000-$12,000 back every year, she's trying to coach and mold and help them understand that, hey, don't go out and blow this money. Do some good with this money. Put some of this stuff away. Get the child care, get the child education paid for. Invest some of this money so you don't have to work so hard, so you can be there to raise your children. Make sure you got your life insurance squared away. All it. So you don't get that when you go to the big box tax return places, right? You don't get that. So you get high tech, high touch, man. Somebody who cares about the future of you and yours, because that translates into her care for the future of our community at large. Also, guys, if you want to partner with a financial health mentor and a financial education franchise of your own, $4.95 get you in the door, $35 per month. Just go to just text me 314-874-6887. Text me your name and the word wealth to 314-874-6887. I'll let you know what that's all about. And then we can go from there. So today we're talking about people saying the craziest things, man. People say the craziest things. And what I want you guys to take away from this today is that the words that come out of your mouth, I don't know how if you guys know how connected you are to this universe, but the words that come out of your mouth moves the universe to make those things happen. I'm gonna say that again. I don't know if you know how connected you are to this universe, and the words that come out of your mouth literally moves the universe to make those things happen. So let me ask you, what do you say when you talk to yourself? What do you say when you talk to yourself? See, I know people say the craziest things. And sometimes when you're talking to yourself, you get divine inspiration on what it is that you could do and can do. And then you start telling yourself, man, I can't do that. Oh, man, I want to go for this job, and I don't got no experience. I don't got my degree. They ain't going to hire a brother like me. They going to hate on me. And guess what happens? That's exactly what happens. They hate on you. They don't hire you because they say you don't got that degree. They say you don't got no experience. The words that come out of your mouth, you're the first to hear. So you're speaking into your own spirit, whatever you're speaking to and about others, but you're also speaking to the universe to move to make those things happen. So if every word that comes out of your mouth is negative about somebody else, about your situation, then you are literally laying the foundation and building your negative castle brick by brick. Brick by brick, you're building your castle of negativity with the words that are coming out of your mouth. That's how this thing works, man. That's how this thing works, right? We talked yesterday about what do you believe, and we disclosed that your belief system leads to your thoughts, And your thoughts are what leads to the words that come out of your mouth. The words that come out of your mouth lead to your actions. So if you are consistently making poor choices and difficult, not the right decisions all the time, then the reason you're doing that is because how you believe. So I'm going to tell you today that you need to change the way that you speak, but you can't change the way that you speak unless you first deal with how you believe. How you believe determines your thoughts determine your words. If the words coming out of your mouth are not building the castle that you want, then you have to go back to how you believe. Because sometimes you just don't believe the best about yourself. Sometimes you just don't believe the best about your abilities. Sometimes you don't believe the best about your circumstances. And as a result, the way you think about those circumstances and the way you talk about those circumstances are governed by how you believe. So yes, people say the craziest things because of how they believe. I'm always talking about the best in every situation only. How can this thing get better? I don't focus on the problem. I focus on the solution. And if I'm running into rough patches in my life, I talk about how I'm going to figure out how to get this thing turned around. Some of you guys will have a rough patch in your life, and that's every time you run into somebody, that's the first thing come out of your mouth. How you doing, child? Oh man, it's rough. It's a rough go. Having a bad day, having a bad time. Man, I'm going through right now. Right? And what you're doing when you do that is you are literally adding fuel to the fire that's keeping that thing around longer. So some of us will take a 30-second rough patch and turn it into 24, 72 hours. We'll take a 30-second rough patch, and by the way that we think and the way that we speak, we'll turn it into a rough patch that goes for 48 to 72 hours. It's a 30-second rough patch. And all we have to do is say, damn, I made a bad mistake right there. But that's all right. I'm going to jump back on this thing, get it fixed. No worry, small problem for a giant. I'm going to keep it moving, keep it pushing, because I know that that ain't going to affect this because I'm doing this and I got this going on. That thing right there is done deal. It's all right. I'm going to overcome that. Matter of fact, I've already overcome that. I'm on to the next. Right? And some of y'all hit that little bit of rough patch. Go apply for a job. Lady says, I'm gonna call you back at 2. She don't call you back by 2, and you start going in about the job, about how you don't want to work there in the first place, and then about you knew that it wasn't gonna happen for you, and all. Come on, this is a 30-second rough patch. Lady calls you back at 2:15. Now you answer the phone with all this negative energy, right? Because she was 15 minutes late calling you back because you immediately, because of the way you believe, you immediately went into the deepest end of the negative pool. Instead of saying, man, she didn't call me back at 2 because she's probably dealing with a bunch of other interviews, but I know she's going to call. In fact, when she calls, she's not even going to ask me for the second interview. She's going to call and offer me the job. And not only is she going to offer me the job, when she calls, she's going to offer me the job, and she's going to offer me what I want to receive as compensation for the job. In fact, she's going to come in over what I anticipated and offer me a couple $1,000s more than I'm willing to take for this job. She's just a little bit late, and that's okay, because when she does call, everything is going to work out in my favor. You got to start watching what you say. And if you're not watching if you can't watch what you say, chances are it's because of what you think, how you think. And if your thought process is all screwed up, chances are it's because of how you believe. People say the craziest stuff, right? And again, when you guys are here, I'm lecturing to myself out loud, and you just can hear it. So I don't want you to think I'm directing this at anybody. This is for me. This morning show is for me. It allows me to pick a topic and speak into my spirit about this topic, and it helps me stay on the right track, or even get on the right track if I'm not. So don't think that this is coming at you. You guys are hearing me lecture to myself about how I need to make sure I speak, think, and believe a certain way to get the outcome that I want. Again, I love that line from India. I read, the words that come out of your mouth, you're the first to hear. I'm the first to hear the words that I'm speaking to you. So I'm actually speaking to me first, and you guys are witnessing. So be very careful of the words that come out of your mouth. And as a young man, I said some of the dumbest stuff, some of the craziest stuff, because I didn't know any better, right? So what was I saying as a young man running the streets of St. Louis in all kind of mess? Oh man, I'm just gonna live for today. Tomorrow ain't promised. I'm just gonna live for today. Tomorrow ain't promised. How many people you know live that way and been saying that for 20 years? Tomorrow ain't promised. You've been saying tomorrow ain't promised for 20 years, right? As a man thinks, so as he does, the law of attraction really exist? I think so. See, I think so. So he says, Joseph says, curiosity question. In the Bible, it states, as a man thinketh, so is he. Does the law of attraction really exist? It's a biblical principle. As a man thinketh, so is he. So I am who I think I am. So if I think I'm a billionaire, then I am. And if I believe it, then I'm going to do the actions necessary in order to make that manifest. So when you talk about the law of attraction, I don't think they just, sometimes they make it too broad and say, hey, if you speak on a thing, think on a thing long enough, it's going to come. But also you have to have belief. You have to have belief there. The law of attraction is just faith. You have to have the belief there. Because the law of attraction says, yes, I can have anything that I want in this universe. But in order to get it, I have to first have the thought, and then I have to believe that I can receive that. Because in believing that I can receive that, I do the actions necessary to make it manifest. I guarantee you, you can talk law of attraction all you want to. If you lay flat on your back in your bedroom and say, I got a new Mercedes, 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 you ain't getting no new Mercedes. But if you're imagining every day sitting in that soft, butter soft leather, you're imagining the color, you're imagining it, and you believe that this is going to be your car one day. And because you believe it, you're going out to do things that will help you along the way acquire the wealth that it takes to get that, then you can have that. So I would say it's more than it's as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But also it says all things are possible for he that believes. So you got to first believe. And once you believe, then you have the necessary actions to manifest everything that you want. And then it also says, every place that the sole of your foot treads, I have given thee. So that also talks about the faith and the work aspect of the faith. You got to walk out your faith. If I believe I can have a Mercedes, then I have to get up, get out, and get something that's going to make that Mercedes manifest in my life. So you have to be willing to take the action steps to get what you need, and not just rely on the universe. So when I say the universe will move in your favor, what that simply means is, because I believe a certain way, I take certain actions, and as the universe is moving for me, what is it doing? It's allowing people to cross my path that have other resources that I would need to take me from glory to glory. It's allowing me to see clearly opportunities that I need to be involved in to take me from glory to glory. So when I say the universe is moving, it's allowing me to be at the right place in front of the right TV commercial at the right time that's advertising a seminar or a book that I also need to attend. So the universe moves like that if you are tuning in to say, you know what, I believe a certain way, I'm going to have this. So everything, because I believe I'm a billionaire, I see things differently than most people. And I see opportunities that most people won't see. I see ways that can help manifest that billion in my life. I'm crossing paths with people who are heavy hitters, who are already on their way or close to being billionaires themselves. Because I've declared it, now the universe is moving in my favor to put me in position to do that. But it's not moving in my favor, and I don't see those things. I don't cross paths with those people if I'm not walking out my faith. If I'm sitting at home in the living room and not networking, if I'm sitting at home in the living room and not coming to you guys live, I'm sitting at home in the living room watching TV all day talking about, yeah, I'm a billionaire, 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 and not walking out the faith or not taking actions based on what and how I believe, not taking actions based on what and how I think, not speaking into reality that which I think because of the way I believe, then I'm not going to have what I have. So that's why some people say it don't work, because they ain't taking no action. They don't have the trifecta, right? They don't have the trifecta. It takes the belief. That's one. You got to believe. Then it takes the affirmation. You know, say in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. God created this entire world by speaking. And if I am a God under the Most High God, I can create my entire world by speaking. So I got to believe, then I got to speak, then I got to act. Because after he spoke it, the Word talks about the Spirit doing and moving to get what he was speaking done. And I don't mean to preach to y'all this morning, but you got to have the trifecta. You got to have the belief. Then you got to speak the right way because of what you believe. And then you got to walk out the actions. Everywhere the sole of your foot treads, I've given you. But hell, if the soles of my feet ain't treading no damn word, he ain't giving me nothing, right? He's not giving me anything. So I've got to believe, I got to speak, and then I got to do. Then I can have. Believe, speak, do, then I can have. Right? So what are you speaking? What do you say when you're talking to yourself? Because that's the most powerful, that is the second most important conversation that you need to be having. First most important for me as a Christian is I should be confessing my shortcomings to God. That conversation that I have with him is important. Second most important conversation that I need to be having, and I need to be extremely conscious of as I'm having it, is the conversation that I have with myself. What is the conversation that you're having? What did you say when you talk to yourself? Are you speaking love, light, life, prosperity, peace, blessings into your own spirit? Or are you speaking death and destruction? Man, I'm so stupid. I'm always making dumb decisions. Man, why come I can't think like so-and-so? Why is my life always falling apart? Because you said so. Why is my life always falling apart? Because you said so. People say the craziest things, and they wonder why they live in a life of chaos. The words that you speak, see them as bricks to a structure, to a house, to a building, to a castle, to a kingdom. And that kingdom can be a positive one, where you can rule and reign from, or it can be a negative one where you can be imprisoned by. It can be a positive one. You can be building the kingdom where your throne is going to sit, where you rule and reign the words that you are creating with your mouth. Or you could be laying the brick by brick by brick to a prison that will entrap you if you don't understand the power of the words that are coming out of your mouth. Choice is yours. What do you say when you're talking to yourself? And then it's important that you be careful about what you say when you're talking to others. When I say, I love you to my wife, who else am I saying I love you to? If the words that come out of my mouth, I'm the first to hear, I tell my wife, I love you. But I'm also saying to me, I love you. When I tell my children, you can do all things, the words that come out of my mouth, I'm the first to hear. So who else am I telling that they can do all things? I'm telling myself, I can do all things. That's why I don't speak nothing but positivity into people's lives, because I know the words that come out of my mouth, I'm the first to hear. I also know about something called karma. And as a youth mentor and a coach, I'm careful about how I talk to other people's children who have trusted me to mentor and coach them. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, if I'm speaking positive, uplifting, and encouraging words to them all the time, then that creates reciprocity in my life. Meaning when I'm away from my children, somebody is speaking positive, encouraging, and uplifting things into their lives. This thing goes deep, y'all. What are you saying when you talk to yourself? What are you saying when you communicate with those around you? It's very important to pay close attention to the words that come out of your mouth, right? I wish there was a way that you could put a voice recorder on yourself and record your conversation for 24 hours. Then come back and listen to that thing and see how many words and phrases were positive, see how many words or phrases were negative. See, my wife said I have to stop cussing, right? Because I cuss a little bit every now and then. She said, stop cussing. But I can deal with somebody who cusses. I just can't deal with somebody who curses, right? I can deal with somebody who cusses, and that's why I don't think there's anything wrong with cussing. She would say, stop cussing. But when you're not careful with what you say, you don't have to cuss to curse. I don't have to say a profane word to curse somebody. I know coaches who call their kids stupid. That's a curse. Where I might say, get the damn ball, son. That's a cuss. There's a difference. Get the damn ball, son. Man, you so stupid, get the damn ball. See the difference? One is a cuss, the other is a curse. Got to be careful about the words that come out of your mouth. Got to be careful, especially when you're speaking over people's lives, because guess what? Somebody's going to be speaking that over your lives or over the lives of the people that you love. People say the craziest thing. What else did I used to say? Or what else do I hear people say all the time, especially now that I'm in the space of financial education and I'm encouraging everybody to build wealth. What you building wealth for, man? You can't take it with you. That's the one that bugs me the most. It's the one that bugs me the most, because the people who are saying that got 4 or 5 kids. You can't take it with you. And they got 4 or 5 kids. I know I can't take it with me, but my intention is to leave it for my descendants. So I'm not building this for me in the first place. I'm building it for them. Right? I hear pastors bring that from the pulpit sometimes. I'm saying, Pastor, don't. See, we understand that the forces of evil really exist. We understand that. And I don't think anybody will argue with that, whether you call them the devil or what. There are forces of evil that exist. And sometimes when we're talking about generational curses, we point the finger at those forces of evil. But you know what they say, every time you point one finger, three are pointing back at you? You are causing the generational curses because of the actions that you're taking or the lack of action that you're taking. So if I don't build wealth for my family, chances are my sons will behave the exact same way that I behaved, and the way that I behaved the first 40 years of my life led me down the road of poverty. They're only going to take on what they know. And if they take on what they know from me, the first 40 years of my life is going to lead them down the road to poverty. And if their children follow them, they're going to, and that's how the generational curses are created. See, sometimes the devil don't have to do anything. The fact that you're not doing anything is enough, right? So we have to break out and do something different other than our parents. That's why I teach entrepreneurship with such passion. When are we going to do something different than our parents did so that our children can have something different than what we have? Our parents went to school, got good grades, got a good education so they could get a good job. And the hope was that so that good job will lead them out of poverty. But it didn't. So instead, they thought that they thought they were the ones that did something wrong. So they went to school, got good grades, got educated, got a good job, and that still led to poverty. So because they thought they were the ones that they told us to go harder at school, get better grades, get an even better job, when it wasn't them at all. It's the system. See, the system is broken. But when you can't recognize that the system is broken, the system makes you think that you're broken. So you say, yes, I went to high school. I graduated high school. I went and got on at the Ford plant right out of high school. I worked there 40 years and I still ended up broke. All right. So that was something that I did wrong. So now my children, I need you to go to school and get a college degree. Right. And then I need you to go get a good corporate job in the office, not in a factory where you're working hard. And then I want you to take that and then you get that good job. You worked there 40 years. And guess what? Those people are still ending up broke. But they don't recognize that the system is broke. They think they are broke. So they say, you know what? I need my children now to take it one step further. I need you to go to school. I need you to get a master's degree. And I need you to get an executive level job. And then I need you to work that job for 40 years and take care of yourself and get to where we were not able to get to. And then those people right now are finding themselves still broke, making 6 figures, but they're still living check to check. But again, they think they're broke. They're not. Nobody's looking at the system as the system being broke. They think I did something wrong personally. So son, here's what I need you to do. I need you to go to school and get 2 degrees. Right? I need you to get a master in one of those. Right? I need you to get a PhD. And then I need you to become a CEO of a company. The guys, out of all the companies out there, there can only be one CEO. There's only a few executive spots. There's tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people vying for those spots. So we're not looking at the system as being broke. We're looking at, I did something wrong. So we're pushing our children harder and harder. down the same path faster and faster, instead of saying, you know what, I need you to go a different route altogether. That's where entrepreneurship comes in. We do what we are supposed, we don't do what we're supposed to do. You're exactly right. That's where entrepreneurship comes in. I need you, my friend. I looked at my parents' generation and how this path worked for them. I looked at my generation and I see how this path worked for them. I'd be damned if I put you on the same path, because I'm at least smarter than that. I'm watching my parents' generation retire broke and go work for Walmart. I'm watching my generation struggle to keep the lights on now using that same system. Why on God's green earth would I send my children down the exact same path hoping for a different result? They call that insanity. We're 3 generations in and we're still teaching our kids to do the exact same thing that never worked for the first 2 generations that tried it. And it's not them, it's the system. So we got to come out of that. And I don't want people to think that I dump on education. I do not. Well, I kind of do. I kind of dump on education. I don't dump on knowledge. See, education is just a systematic way to deliver knowledge. So I do dump on education because the system is systematically delivering what knowledge? See, I don't dump on knowledge. The acquisition of knowledge and understanding is a good thing. But the education is just a systematic way to transfer knowledge. So when you think about this, our educational system is just that, is a system for transferring knowledge into us, into our children, but nobody's questioning the knowledge that is being transferred. There's a system. Education is just a systematic way to transfer knowledge. What is the knowledge that is so systematically being transferred to us? And we have to realize that whatever it is not equating to wealth. Whatever it is not equating to prosperity. Whatever it is not equating to peace in our lives. Whatever it is causing stress and leading to early and premature deaths. But we have a problem because we are social creatures. It is extremely socially acceptable to be and to go down this path. And if you don't go down this path, people look at you like you're crazy, and you don't want to be looked at like you're crazy. But you have to understand this. Everybody who has that prosperity, that success, that peace, that joy in their life, all of them went a different route. See, all of the people who have what we want, all of them went a different way. And we're scared to go a different way because we don't want to be looked at like we're crazy. But guess what? All of those people were looked at like they were crazy first. Steve Jobs, Gates, when those guys were dropping out of college, Zuckerberg, people were looking at them like they were crazy. You're blowing it, kid. You have a real opportunity here. All right. And then for us as Black people, I'm going to give you a little bit of history on us as Black people. When slavery ended for us, who had all of the skills? When slavery ended, see, I know when we watch slave movies, they only show the slaves working in the fields. Slaves did everything. Slaves were the master carpenters. Slaves were the master blacksmiths. Slaves were the master producers, the master producers, the master farmers. Slaves were the masters of every trade. Every single one of them we mastered. But here's how we got into the educational system. Because we mastered all of the skills, when slaves were released and got a chance to move up north, they brought those skills with them. Now you have a bunch of other cultures who are not as skilled. But in order to keep out those who have mastery of skills, that's where the unions came from. So now, as a master blacksmith, a master carpenter, a master machinist, a master wheel maker, I can't use my skills to feed my family because there are whites only unions now that are preventing me from going in and taking their jobs. So now, because of that, being the man that I am, I can't feed my children with these skills because of the system that we're now in. So I'm not going to pass these skills down to my children. I'm going to tell my children, you go to school and get educated. And just imagine for one moment, if we were able to keep the mastery of those skills down through the generations. Right? If we were able to keep the mastery of those skills down through the generations, where would we be today? We would have the biggest and the baddest construction companies. We would have the biggest and the baddest plumbing companies. We'd have the biggest and the baddest electrical companies. We would have the biggest architectural firms because that's what we were doing. We were doing it for free. And whites only unions shut us out. So instead of passing the trade down to the children, we said, you know what? We can't eat with this trade anymore because they're not going to let us, they're not going to hire us to do the work. And even when we were able to do the work, this is where licensing and certification came from. Because I'm a master carpenter, but I can't read. I'm a master carpenter, but I'm a former slave, so I can't read. So in order for someone to hire me, all they have to do is look at my work. And they say, he can't read, but he knows what he's doing. So even that, this is how they kept us from building our own empires. Because as a master carpenter, I could still own my own business, and that would allow me to pass this trade down to my children in my own business. But you know what they did? They said, in order to be able to perform this work, you need to be certified. So you have to go take a state sanctioned test on what I'm already a master at doing. But because I can't read, I can't pass that test. I can't get certified or licensed, so I can't build a business on the skills that I have. And because I can't use my skills in a job setting, I can't use my skills to build my own business where I could train my children up and to become masters like me, because I can't get certified because I don't know how to read and I can't pass a test, but I'm a master at what I do. Now I say to myself, I can't win with this, son. I know you come to the job with me. I know you know how to do this stuff better than most, but we can't eat from this because we can't get certified, and nobody's going to hire us because of the whites only unions. So the only thing on my only recourse, son, is to send you to school. If we're going to have a better situation, I got to send you to school and get educated so you can learn their way, so you can feed your family their way, because our way, until I can figure out how to overcome this, our way isn't going to be able to feed us. So that's where we ended up, where everybody is going through an educational system when we have the skills, the mindset to own and to do everything on our own. But because we integrated into this burning house, now our houses are on fire because of it. So just imagine, because when we say mastery of things, we mastered 5, 6, 7 trades sometimes as slaves. Blacksmith, carpentry, ranching, farming, building, construction, everything. So you think what a true Renaissance man is somebody who's really good at everything. So imagine having mastery of 7 different skills yourself, and you got 9 children. I got mastery of 7 skills and 9 children. One of these skills is going to fit one of these children in some way. 2 or 3 of them going to master 2 or 3 of them, but at least all of you will have one skill that you master, and you can feed your family off that one skill forever. But the unions and the certifications and the licensing boards and all of that kind of stuff crushed that a little bit. But guess what? Now we can read. Now we can pass certification tests. But why aren't we going back to reacquire all of those trades? Right? And here's what happens when you get something embedded in your DNA. If you went back and picked up the carpentry trade, and your great-great-grandfather was a master carpenter, it's in you. It's in you. So yes, you pass a test, but then you're able to do things that you don't even understand how you're able to do them because it's in you. Right? And I know we got way away from people say the craziest things, but I tell people all the time, there's no reason that our children can't have 2 or 3 trades under their belt by the time they graduate high school. 2 or 3. And guess what? It used to be that way. And before they turned the school system into the money machine that it is. Because we remember the trades were in all of the high schools. Now the trades are in Ballarat, ITT, and all of these places where you have to go pay for them, take out loans to go get these skills. But that still is a better option. But what I propose is most of us Black people are Christians, and are solid Christians, right? At church every Sunday. Guess what? Guess who else is at church every Sunday? Master plumbers, master carpenters, master electricians, architects, skilled laborers, machinists. All of those things, all of those people are in those places, right? So why aren't they taking those skills and passing them down to the children in the church? Thought process. Just got to start thinking differently. Thinking differently. So what do you say when you're talking to yourself? Are you speaking the words of love and light, peace, prosperity, success? Or are you speaking death and destruction to yourself and to all of those around you? That is my question for you today. Don't get caught up in talking down on somebody else, because the words that come out of your mouth, you're the first to hear. If you're talking down on somebody else, you're talking down on yourself. If you're speaking and cursing into somebody else's life, you're speaking and cursing into your own life. And what goes around comes around. So if you're speaking and cursing into somebody else's life, chances are somebody somewhere else is going to be speaking and cursing into your life, in addition to the speaking and cursing that you're doing in your own life. So understand something. The words that come out of your mouth come from your thought process. Your thought process comes from your beliefs. If you're not talking right, it's because you're not believing right, or you're not thinking right. If you're not thinking right, it's because you're not believing right. And if you start talking right, that means you're thinking right. That means you're believing right. And that means you will make manifest the things that you truly want, instead of bringing negativity into your life over and over and over again, because of the way you speak, because of the way you think, and because of the way you believe. How do you change the way you believe? People you associate with, places you go, books you read. People you associate with, places you go, books you read. If you want to change the way you believe, it takes a different, consistent input. What's going into your head that is different all the time, right? Look at some of our young folks who listen to all this garbage that they call rap music, right? And rap music is very different from hip hop. I want y'all to understand that. Hip hop is a culture. Rap music is a byproduct of a particular culture. Hip hop is a culture. Rap music is a byproduct of a particular culture. But listen to look at our young people who are listening to all of this rap music. A lot of it's garbage. A lot of it's trash. Talking about who they can kill, who they can slay, how many chicks they can lay, and that's all they talk about all the time. And what kind of world are they creating based on what they talk about and what they listen to and what they feed themselves all the time? That's the world that they're creating. If you keep talking about you're a killer, you're a killer, you're a killer, you will eventually become a killer. Charles Manson fed that to his followers, and eventually they were able to manifest and act on the way they were believing and thinking. Our children are feeding themselves garbage every day, and the world that they are creating is full of garbage because of it. If you're not believing right, then it's because you're not thinking right. If you're not thinking right, it's because you're not believing right. And if you're not believing right, you can go directly to the people you hang around with, the books that you're reading, and the places that you go. That's what determines who you are, how you believe. How you believe determines how you think determines how you speak. If you're not speaking right, you're not thinking right. If you're not thinking right, you're not believing right. If you need to change, then you need to change who you associate with, the places you go, and the books you read, the information that you allow to enter your head. Right? There's nothing wrong with indoctrination, as long as you're in control of the propaganda that you are being indoctrinated with. My children get indoctrinated by me all day, every day. And what is the indoctrination that I'm pumping into them? That you are great, that you are great, that you can do all things. Nothing can stop you, kid. You can fly. All you got to do is spread your wings. Trust me, you got this. What are you indoctrinating your children with? What are you indoctrinating your spouse with? Right? The words that come out of your mouth, you're the first to hear. Be careful what you say, how you say it, who you say it to. Two great conversations that you have to be extremely conscious of: the conversation that you have with your creator and the conversation that you're having with yourself. Because you talk to yourself more than you talk to anybody else. I don't know if you realize that. You talk to yourself more than you talk to anyone else. Most of us. I know there are some people who are afraid to be alone with their thoughts. That's why they're always in the car with a radio blasting. They're always around a group of people. They can never be alone. When they're alone, their TV is on, the radio is on in the other room. Don't want to be alone with their own thoughts. Trying to drown out the voice of God. So with that, guys, it looked like I lost my Facebook crowd, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you please, if you need tax prep help, check out my sponsor for today, Best Services Unlimited at bsullc.us. Phone number is 770-829-0082. Tell her I sent you, and chances are you can qualify for that free cruise to the Bahamas, man. So I'm your man, H Cortez, financial health mentor to the working class. Until I talk to you guys tomorrow, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. Peace out, people.